Hi everyone, I'm Sabrina. Welcome to My Ascending Life. Today I thought I would share with you a window into my journey to healing and the steps that have helped me so far to heal in a holistic way. When I say holistically, I'm talking about healing thoroughly and completely in every way, inside and out, through and through. I had to do a lot of emotional processing on past traumas in order to heal myself, and that was a lot of work for me. I know we all have had people or events in our pasts that have scarred us and shaped us into the people we are today. I personally was physically abused and sexually hunted by my stepfather. I was emotionally neglected and used by my biological mother. I was abandoned by my biological father at 11 months old, or at least that's what my mother led me to believe. I was raised in a cult known as Jehovah's Witnesses. I was disfellowshipped from that cult and lost everyone that I loved when I confessed my sins for falling in love with someone who also was mentally unwell and emotionally manipulated and abused me. I was extremely attracted to him because he felt like home to me. Then I went back to the religion after being away for a couple of years because I missed my mother and my spiritual family so much, only to go back and really have my eyes open to all of the wrongdoing and hypocrisy and the pain inflicted on people within that religion. And I finally walked away from everyone I had known as family my entire childhood. It took a lot of intense personal work and home therapy that helped me to heal many of those wounds from the past so that I could move forward from all of that to a life that I actually want, to a healthier, more healing home and environment, instead of looking back at what I never wanted in the first place and continuing to create more of that and repeat the cycle like many people do, especially within families. They'll repeat generation after generation the same kind of cycles over and over that are painful. And I didn't want to pass that on to my child. And so I started looking into ways, trying to find ways to break the cycle. And that led me to a lot of reading. I used to go to a bookstore. I didn't have a lot of money back then, so I went to a bookstore where you could actually sit there and read, and started picking up books. But one of the first books that actually a friend introduced, this one is by Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. Right here, this right here is the best tool that I ever found to really processing through past traumas, because those things wire your brain to make you see the world in a certain way, to make you interact with people in a certain way, to make you feel a connection with certain people who are familiar, again, that feel like home to you. So you tend to fall in love with people who will hurt you, people who will abuse you. If you've come from a past of being abused as a child, that will feel normal, that will feel even safe. And so this book really is a workbook because it helps you go through everything, to think about everything that ever happened to you and how that wired your brain, and to rewire it differently, to create new patterns, new ways of thinking, and new ways of interacting with the world around you, and starting to create the life that you want. So seriously, if you don't own this book, if you haven't read it, and if you have anything that you need to heal from, I highly recommend picking up this book. So again, You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. Great book. A couple of other things, books that kind of came across my path, was this one by Marianne Williamson called A Woman's Worth. As a female who was raised in a religion, in a home environment where I was taught to be basically subservient, and just taught that I just wasn't worth as much just because of the genitalia I was born with. This was a book that helped me kind of right that pendulum and get back to feeling like just because I was a woman I wasn't worth something. This book will make any woman with low self-esteem feel like a queen. So it really is worth reading if you're working on any kind of self-esteem issues as a woman, and if you feel like any of your low self-worth comes from just being a female. I know part of me as a kid felt like, because I had an older brother who just wasn't targeted quite as much as I was and in as many ways as I was by my stepfather, and so that led me to believe that, being female was a lot of the reason I was abused. So that also led to me having lower self-esteem based on my gender. So anyway, that was a second one that I wanted to share. And then this one, I wouldn't say it is nearly as helpful as the others were, but it helped me put another kind of click in my brain about the connection between our emotions, our emotional patterns, our feelings, and food. How emotional we get about food, how the connection and the memories and the feelings that we invest in food. And that was kind of a start to a journey on getting a healthier relationship with food. So this is Women, Food, and God by Geneen Roth. So I do recommend reading that. It was an interesting journey to follow her on. So those are a few I wanted to share with you. Once you do begin to heal from your past, it's important to practice a life of self-love. And we need to start with figuring out a way to attain healthy self-esteem. We can make all of the life goals that we want, but we're never going to be able to stick to them if we don't believe that we deserve the results that those will bring into our lives. This is where a lot of people will get started on a diet or an exercise routine or any sort of pattern, and they start self-sabotaging themselves, or they start relapsing into old patterns. So we don't want to do that. So we need to start developing a healthy self-worth so that we can continue on our health journeys in every way. So a few things that have helped me along the way to start out with, I would say in the beginning, which is kind of what Louise Hay's book begins introducing, is affirmations. And for each person that can be different, but when you're talking about self-love, I mean, first of all, a good affirmation to say would be, I am worthy of love, or I am my own best friend. Just to start the mental language of taking care of ourselves, of valuing ourselves, of having self-worth. I am worthy of love. I am my own best friend. To start to believe those things can really be a big deal in a life where you've previously not felt valued, even by your own self. So that's a great start. Next is mirror talk, where you actually look into a mirror and talk to yourself. Like I personally would say, I would look in the mirror, and you have to look yourself in the eye and say, Sabrina, I love you. I value you. And then start talking about why. What are things that you value and that you admire about yourself? So I could say, I admire your kindness. I admire your creativity. I love you. And just keep saying I love you over and over again, and talk about what you admire about yourself, things that make you valuable. Sometimes you have to get to the specifics, because just some people find it very painful, and I did in the beginning, to even look myself in the eye and say I love you, because I had never done that, and I had certainly never felt that. So that was hard. But then when I'd break it down and say, well, something I like about you is your kindness or your creativity, or how you help people, or different things like that. So then it was like, okay, yeah, I mean, I love that. So maybe there is something lovable in there that I could find. And sometimes, I mean, you really got to dig. You got to dig deep to find it. But think of something that you are, that you do, the way you treat other people, the way you act, that you think is pretty good, that you think, that's all right. That's a start. That's a start to self-love. If you can admit that there is something good in you that deserves to be valued, and deserves to be appreciated and loved. And that means that you are lovable. There are things about you that are definitely lovable, and you have value and you have self-worth. So find it, use it, and repeat it over and over until you believe it. And in the beginning, you may not, but keep repeating it over and over again. Next, I recommend having a self-care routine. Something that you do every day that makes you feel valuable, that makes you feel special. If you woke up tomorrow and you finally loved yourself, what would you do? What would you do that you don't do now? What is something you can add into your daily routine that at the end of the day would make you feel like, I took care of myself today. I did something for me today. That could be a candlelit bath. That could be just having a smoothie in the morning. It could be a morning walk or yoga or exercise routine. It could be finally actually finding a therapist, investing in a professional therapist to work through your issues that way. Whatever it is for you, it's good to have that self-care routine. And that self-care routine can include those affirmations and mirror talk, to do those every day. And it's never too late to start working on your health, but you may have trouble in the beginning sticking with a healthy lifestyle until you get far enough along on your emotional healing journey to trust and know that you do deserve to heal. A favorite affirmation that Tanny Raw on YouTube says, that I've repeated over and over to myself over the last year, is, I am the one who will heal. I am the one that will heal. Repeating that over and over has helped me believe that healing in my own personal life is possible, and I've seen that transform my life in a tremendously positive way. So I highly recommend you to use that. I also highly recommend Tanny Raw's channel because she is awesome. I can't talk about her enough, but I am the one that will heal. Say that to yourself till you believe it, till you start seeing the results. I am the one that will heal. Some physical steps that have helped me on my journey and that might help you are intermittent fasting, of course, veganism, grape juice fasting combined with colon cleansing herbs. And colon cleansing itself by using like saltwater flushes or enemas, anything you can do to kind of clean out your internal domain will help make room for good to come. You don't want the old dirty stuff that's been in there for years lingering around, so get rid of it in any way you can cleanse it out. I have had wonders health-wise just from cleansing out the old. Of course, raw veganism in itself is a cleanse, but of course I prefer that as a lifestyle, not just a temporary thing, but the more raw the better. So if you don't want to be 100% raw vegan, you don't have to be, as much as you can be is fine. And then also switching over to distilled water or reverse osmosis water is a great step for healing. That really helps to cleanse out all of the old, and I highly recommend looking into water and making sure that the water that you're taking into your body is very high quality. So I encourage you overall to look into all of these things that I mentioned individually and see if any of these resonate with you personally, and you can implement them into your life. Any steps that you take today to love you, to take care of you, to show that you have value and that you find yourself worthy of healing will be a great positive step to propel you forward to more healing to come. So that's about it. I hope that this video has been helpful to you and can help you heal in any way possible for you. If you'd like to see more videos like this, like and subscribe to my channel and leave a comment below with any thoughts you'd like to share with me. And keep ascending to a better you every single day. Goodbye.